What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode number 2 of Bitcoin Numbers and News, BNN, the edition of Goodbye 2024, Hello 2025. I hope you guys are doing well. I know this video is not going to be watched by a lot of people because I know a lot of people are going to be partying and all that, but let's get on into it. So today is it Tuesday? Tuesday, December 31st, 2024. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 877,259. TikTok next block. We got 3,083 transactions in that block, and it was 5 minutes ago. So pretty good, pretty good. So let's see what we got here. So sats are on sale, obviously. The price is a little low. We'll get to that in a second. But for $1, guys, you can get 1,069 Satoshis for $1. We're at 93,540, and we'll get to that in a second. But before we do, I want to tell you guys to make sure you guys go over to the Bitcoin Amigos and go ahead and subscribe to that. We're almost at 300 subscribers. We got our music and everything else. We do a live every Friday, and check us out. And obviously, subscribe to Fractal Bitcoin, Chris from Fractal Bitcoin. Chris never misses. And then my boy Jor for the score from 88 Sats Radio. Make sure you guys go ahead and check them out. Now, this obviously is one of my favorite tools right here. This is bitcoinsperperson.com. We talked about this yesterday, and I'll be talking about this every day, right? So it shows how many Satoshis you can get if everything was evenly distributed, right? Less or minus the country, what we have as a country, what MicroStrategy has, the ETFs and all that stuff that I'll get into. If everything was evenly distributed, you would only need 244,765 Satoshis. So they take the number of Bitcoins, 19.8 million Bitcoin, and then divide it by 8 billion people. Or is it the other way around? And it says, given that a Bitcoin currently costs 91,965, there are only enough Bitcoins for every person to have $225 worth. If Bitcoins were distributed using the current global distribution of wealth, 99.9% of people would have $42.81 worth of Bitcoins, and the people in the top 0.001 would have 0.073 Bitcoin. So in other words, like the great Satoshi Nakamoto says, it might make sense just to get some, just in case. I like to say just in case. Get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Man, only 244,000 if everything was distributed evenly. And I'm sure most of you guys have that, at least that. What would that cost today? Let's see. 244,000, right? 244,765 sats. Oh, how do I do that math? How many is it? Okay, so 1,000 divided by 1,000 equals. So it'd be about $229 to get your fair share today. That's not bad, guys. That's not bad. So let's check out the chart. Obviously, we're up a little bit from yesterday. This is the daily, so we're up about what, $1,000 today, something like that. From yesterday, we're at 92,000. Still on sale, man. Again, it's on the discount. 1,069 sats for $1. You can't beat that, guys. 1,069 sats for $1. I mean, that's just incredible, man. Incredible. And then here's another chart we like to look at. 24-hour, obviously, we're doing well. 93,757. I believe for the yearly, we're really up for 1 year. Way up. What did we start at 1 year ago? 45,166. We're up 100 and something percent, more than double our purchasing power in terms of fiat. And Satoshis and Bitcoin are obviously killing fiat. So here we go. This is my other one. I love this one. Companiesmarketcap.com. Now, obviously, Bitcoin is not a company, but we're going to see who's got the top market caps. We talked about this yesterday. And we're going to talk about this every day. So obviously gold's the king, 17.7 trillion in market cap. We are just under 10 times that, less than that, or just over 10 times less than that, 1.8 trillion. And we're only 16 years old, guys. We'll be 16 in 3-4 days, January 3rd. So we pass Saudi Aramco. Silver has been around thousands of years. Facebook's been around for years. Tesla. There's more money in Bitcoin, and nobody even knows about it. We're not even. I don't even think we're at a percent of adoption. You know, and we're at number 7. So 1.854 million. That's great, man. That's great. And then the fear and greed index. I love this one. I think yesterday we're at 65. We're at 66 today because we went up a little bit. The price went up. So yeah, so we went down to 60. It actually went to 64 yesterday. When I did the video, it was 65. So it's up a little bit, you know. But you want to look at this, and again, when you hear the words crypto, you know, the microfractal crypto market sentiment analysis, we're talking about Bitcoin here, guys. Okay, so when you hear the word crypto, you go for Bitcoin. But how you analyze this chart is simple. Sorry, where is it at? Uh-oh. Let me go back to it. Sorry. Okay. How you analyze this is simple. The more green it is, usually the less we buy. Now, obviously, you know, we do our dollar cost averaging. We'll talk about that later. Your daily, weekly, monthly, bi-weekly, hourly, like I do. You know, you do that. But when you smash buy, you want to smash buy down here in the orange and yellow and red, you know, because that's when the price is down and also fear is up. So what did Warren Buffett say? When there's blood in the streets, that's when we eat, right? So you go down here. When it's towards this way, again, I don't even know why it's this high. I guess because it's, you know, hit over 100,000. It's in the 90s. So, but for me, it should be more in here. But hey, it's still a good time to smash by, relatively speaking, to the 108,000 that we were at before. So that's cool. So let's take a look at Bitcoin's market cap in comparison to the other quote unquote cryptos. Obviously, Bitcoin is the king at $93,000 a coin, and the market cap is 1.856. Right? I'm sorry. I keep messing this stuff up, guys. Hold on. Cryptocurrency, sorry. And yeah, so the market cap is, you know, obviously way higher than everybody else's. But again, I told you this before. When you look at uh, the cryptocurrency space totally, you take all 30 something thousand, I think there are cryptocurrencies, and add them all up, and Bitcoin owns 58% of the share. Again, there is no second best, guys. Okay. They're just not. So if whatever the number is, I don't know how much it is, how many trillions of dollars it is. 58% of it, 58% of those dollars are in Bitcoin. And again, there's 30 something thousand crypto. So again, there's anybody's just on here on this list that's just battling for number 2. Obviously, Ethereum is our nemesis, if you will. Tether's not a crypto, XRP, and all that. So again, guys, if you're new to this, don't worry about that. Just go ahead and focus on the hardest money in the world with a fixed supply, and don't get involved with the S coins until you learn what's going on. Again, not financial advice, but when you got the B Cash, I call B Trash, and BSV and Litecoin and the rest of them, don't even worry about that stuff, guys. Okay. All right, so let's look at the exchanges. This is the all the Bitcoin that are on the exchanges. Obviously, Coinbase is number 1. That is the number 1, what I like to call a honeypot of Bitcoin. Coinbase, they got 725,622 Bitcoin on the exchanges that are not too safe. That's why I tell everybody, get yourself a hard wallet, cold storage. Then you got these guys. So all these cryptos, I mean, all these Bitcoin, excuse me, are on these exchanges, and this is the distribution of them right here all together. And when you see this chart, this yellow line, let me zoom out a little bit. Let me see. Okay, when you zoom out, you got the yellow line for the Bitcoin price, and then the green is the balance of Bitcoin on the exchanges. And they just like to compare them, right? And as you could see, so I zoom in, the price. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So as you can see here, price is at, like I said, 93,000, 94,000, and 2.25 million Bitcoin on all of those exchanges we saw earlier. But again, ever since November 5th, Donald Trump's election, as you can see, the price just went sky high all the way up. And then at the same time, correlating, the Bitcoin on the exchanges went down. So what do you think is going to happen when the SBRs is passed, the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve? What do you think is going to happen when Donald Trump and the U.S. government buys a bunch of Bitcoin? Do you guys think the price is going to go up or down? And if the price does go up, what's going to happen to the Bitcoin on the exchanges? Again, guys, the supply lever can never change with Bitcoin. The demand lever can go up, but the supply lever cannot go down, and that's incredible. So let's look at timechaincalendar.com, which I love. We looked at this yesterday, the epoch. We're at epoch number 5 here in the left-hand corner. Supply 19.8 million. Subsidy at each block is 3.125 every 10 minutes. 94.3% of all Bitcoin that'll ever be here out of the 21 million have been mined in the first 16 years of its existence. Do you guys understand how crazy that is? Anyway, so the exchange rate obviously is 93,624, 1,068 sats per dollar, market cap 1.8. But what I love about this is it tells you so much, right? You got these little blocks right here, right? And it'll show you these little blocks right here inside the blocks will tell you what block that is, right? Which block was mined. And it just goes backwards. See? This one right here is the current block. This orange one, that's the last one. But the one before that and before that, and just keeps going all the way around. Right? Which is crazy, man. I mean, I love this thing, man. I love it. And the last block mine was 16 minutes ago and 33 seconds. Let's see what it says over here in mempool. Yeah, same thing, 17 minutes. So yeah, on average it's 10 minutes, and you can see right here on the right, average block time 10 minutes and 10 seconds. So if this one takes 18, 19 minutes, it'll all average out. Maybe the next one only take 5 minutes or something like that. And then you got like I said, the red circle here is blocks we have left until the difficulty adjustment, which I was just talking about earlier, because if the exahash or the numbers of getting the bitcoins mined are coming in too easy, and people are figuring out the numbers too fast, or the equation too fast, and they have to slow it down and make it harder. So they make the difficulty harder. But then if it's too hard and it's taking 30, 40 minutes, then they can say, okay, we got to ease up and make it easier. But there's so many miners and computers out here trying to figure it out. They have to keep adjusting the thing. Oh, here's a new block, 877,260. Boom, baby. Just now, new block. Love it. And every time that happens, guys, every time we get a new block with all these transactions, this one has 2,956 transaction. Boom, another one back to back. Look at that. Within seconds, not even 30 seconds. It happens. See, this one took 18 minutes, 877,259 took 18 minutes. 260 took 30 seconds, 20 seconds. So yeah. So somebody figured it out. Cesspool, SEC pool, got them both back to back. Man, wouldn't it be nice, guys? Anyway, so that's the new block. There it is. And once it does that, it makes the little noises and stuff. So it shows that. And yeah, I mean, I love it, guys. And then this orange line that goes around shows you the blocks to halving, like I said yesterday. We're at block 172,000. Excuse me. There's 172,739 blocks left until the next halving, and the next halving, or each halving, is 210,000 blocks, right? So that's 4 years. So every year you got to look at it like this. So you take 210,000 blocks and then divide it by 4. So you cut it in half. 210 divided by 2 is 105. 105 divided by 2 is 52,500. So roughly 52,500 blocks every 12 months, human calendar, days, or 1 year. That's what it is usually, about that 52,500. So yeah, then you got all this stuff here on the side, which is cool. Hash rate, 787.4 exahash. All these great numbers, man. Beautiful. And then obviously this one is one of my favorites. This is timechainstats.com. So we'll start from the top. Shows the price, the block height, all this good stuff at the top. Did the unconfirmed, fastest fee, real low, three sats per V byte. So if you want to, this is a great time because everybody's out partying. If you guys want to move some Bitcoin around, or consolidate some UTXO, right now is a good time. Real good time. Mining revenue, sats for fiat, we did that. Boom. And then all these numbers right here. Bitcoin hash rate is always going up and to the right, almost in a straight line. Then we got fees versus subsidies for the miners, right? So 99.3% of their fees, or their money they make off of each block, 99.3% of it comes from the 3.125 block subsidy down here. And then the other 0.6 or 0.7% comes from the transaction fee. So all the transactions in the block that get rearranged by the miner, however they want to do it, and they charge the fees for that. And again, right now they're really low. They're only 3 sats per V byte. Then these are the past blocks right here. Then they got some really cool numbers down here. You guys can go through, look at those, right? Big Bitcoin block time versus size. This is probably my favorite one because it has everything almost. It's almost as good, maybe even better than Dashboard Clark Moody. They got all kind of stuff. They got all the fiats, how much dollars you can get, or how many Satoshi you can get per dollar, what one Satoshi you can get, or how much one Satoshi gets you in dollars and cents. And they got the exchange volume. It's just great, man. It's just great. So let's look at the Dashboard Clark Moody again. And I want you guys to remember this number, 108,280. That is our all-time high. And there's a reason I'm telling you that. December 17th, 2024. You got the gold right here. Bitcoin priced in gold. And you got the, again, 108,280. Supply, got that, 94.3. Unspendable Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin that will never move. Issuance remaining until the year 2140 is only basically 2 million Bitcoins, and that's it. We're in the 5th epoch. Blocks of halving. We know the halving estimate is around late first quarter 2028. And then you got the blockchain, you got all this stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. So let's get into the ETFs real quick and MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy, still same as yesterday, has 446,000 Bitcoin, 446,400 Bitcoin at an average cost of $62,500 per Bitcoin. You think they're doing pretty well? They're basically up 50% in fiat terms. And this is a company that was going bankrupt, guys, before this happened. So they're doing pretty well. Right. Then you got Riot Platforms. They got some Marathon Digital's number 2 in companies. That's a Bitcoin miner. And you got all these companies. And let's see what the ETFs are doing. Let's see. iShares got 552,000. Did they have more than that yesterday? Maybe they sold some. Let's see. I don't know if they sold some or not. Let's see. This is Bitcoin strategy platform.com. Yeah, they sold some. I knew it. So they sold off 387 Bitcoin yesterday. BlackRock. And then Grayscale sold off 1,400 Bitcoin. Fidelity sold 1,600. ARK sold 279. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see it better. So BlackRock 387 minus Grayscale 1,436. Wow. Like I said, Fidelity over 1,600. ARK shares almost 280. Why they're doing this, I don't know. Bitwise 332. Grayscale Mini, that's the one with the new fees, the lower fees, 337, and Valkyrie 106. And I don't see any buys yesterday. Huh. No buys yesterday. Wow, that is interesting. No buys at all. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that, guys. Have you? Let me know in the comment section. That's crazy. So here's heyapollo.com Bitcoin tracker. Same thing. Let's update that. And yeah, so they're siphoning off some Bitcoin. There's a visual of it. And this is the visual I really like this one here. That is really interesting, guys. Did you know that? Wow. Okay. Well, learn something new every day, I guess. So this is, let me go back. So this is the start of January 10th, 2024. This is when the gold rush started, right? January 10th, 2024, all the way to about November 2034. When the gold rush, we get down to the last 1% that Michael Saylor likes to talk about. Because again, this one institutional buying opened up, and this changed the game, everything. This is a big deal. Obviously, it's not a big deal for as far as the Bitcoin strategic Bitcoin reserve is and government's buying, but this was a big deal. This is a big catalyst. I wanted to show you guys a funny video. This is what's that dude's name? The famous YouTuber. What's his name? Oh my God, what's his name? You guys know his name. Sorry, guys. I'm not on here too much, but let's listen to what he says here. Hold on, this is funny.
The people you normally sell something this expensive to, how old are they usually?
I mean, we just sold a $36 million place to a guy that just turned 21.
Bitcoin?
It was a mixture of crypto, and then just he became an investor really, really early on. It wasn't family money.
Bitcoin. Yeah. The people you normally
Mr. Beast, that's his name. And he was, this guy was, I guess, was showing him luxury apartments and stuff. I don't know where they were at. And he was like, yeah, they must have sold Bitcoin. Because he knows, man. Mr. Beast ain't stupid. So yeah, that's really funny. We're about to get into the news soon, but before we do that, I want to stop and ask you guys to please hit the like button, subscribe, share, all that stuff right here. Turn the notification bells on for me, please, and support the channel, because I'm a small channel and YouTube doesn't like me on the algos. So I really appreciate it if you guys look down, because again, I'm trying to do something different. And also, like I said before, with Strike, you can dollar cost average with Strike. This is Jack Mallers' company. I have a link down below, and you'll get your first $100 of fees free of charge with my link. And then after the first 7 days, if you do, one, dollar cost average, once a day or once an hour or something like that, after the 7th day, on the 8th day, you'll get no fees. So that's pretty cool. So, all right, before we get into the news, I wanted to react to my Happy New Year video, and I wanted to go back in time. This was 1 year ago today, because this was January 1st I did it, but 1 year ago, this is a leap year this year, so it's been 365 days. So let's see what Mr. Jerry has to say about the Bitcoin price. So I think that's going to happen in epoch number 6. But back to 2024, with the halving coming in the second quarter of 2024, the supply issuance cutting down, meaning the demand going up with all the marketing from quarter 1, and the supply issuance going from 900 a day to 450 a day. I think the second quarter, minus a Black Swan event now. I'll get to that in a second. I think that's when we hit all-time highs. I think we'll be going past that psychological number of 70,000. The reason I say 70,000 because our high is 69,000.
I think it was November 10th, 2020.
I was a little off. I think we hit 70 something thousand in February. I said in the second quarter. So I was off a little bit. But looking at this video, my God, man, this was a year ago. This felt like yesterday. You know what I mean? Wow.
We hit that. And that's a psychological barrier. And then I think quarter three, I think we'll get up to 100,000 or close. And I think the high would be around 110. And then I think it'll crash down 40% or something like that towards the end of the year. Back down to, if it hits 110, it'll go down to like whatever 40% of that is, 70 or whatever it is. I think 30,000 off of that would be.
Yeah, so that's funny because I called 110. I called it a little earlier. I thought it was going to be third quarter. But we got to 108,280. So I was 1,720 off. Not bad, not bad. I thought it was going to be a little earlier, but and that wasn't even including all the Donald Trump stuff. I had no idea that was going to happen. So I was off a little bit, but then I said it was going to crash down 40%. I was wrong about that too. So these predictions, obviously, nobody knows. You're just guessing at this point. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just funny to look back at that old video and see what I was thinking, because this year went by. Did it go by fast for you guys? It went by crazy fast for me. So let's get into some little news here real quick. There's not much news, but it says more H key legislators push for addition of Bitcoin reserves. So there's more people, companies, Hong Kong included, are looking to add to their reserves. After Johnny NG's call for addition of Bitcoin to Hong Kong's reserve, now Wu Jinghong, another lawmaker, has joined the movement. So yeah, so they're trying to get some Bitcoin. I heard Russia is using Bitcoin now. I heard that in medium of exchanges, I guess. That's pretty cool. And then Unbanked bridging the gap for Bitcoiners who want to use cash. Unbanked eases Bitcoin to fiat exchanges for millions, enabling people to buy and sell Bitcoin with the least hassle and KYC. So this is a new thing. I guess it's a new app you can use to do that. So when most people think about buying or selling Bitcoin, they picture connecting their bank accounts to online exchange and navigating a cumbersome verification purpose. Yet for many people around the world, and even with some within the US, traditional banking relationships are either limited, inconvenient, or simply not an option. That's where Unbanked comes in. Founded over a decade ago, Unbanked has carved out a niche by prioritizing cash transactions. The company distinguishes itself from other major, yeah. So yeah, I guess you can, if you want to use Bitcoin as cash, you can do that with that app. So check that out. Again, me personally, I'm not fooling with it, but yeah. So because I don't really spend my Bitcoin, and when I do, I use it as on my Lightning wallet. So yeah, just as a reminder, guys, just in case you forgot, headed out of 2025, that is our national debt right here, 36,289,000. Even though the supply of money has shrinkened, it is going to go back up. That's part of the reason Bitcoin's price has gone down because of that. But it's still crazy, man, and it's just going up and up and up and up. And you see those numbers moving up. Again, we only mine 3.125 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And look at our debt going up like that so fast. It's just a broken, corrupt system. So I think I'm going to make a little bit of a prediction in 2025 like I did in 2024. So here it is. If we pass the strategic Bitcoin reserve, right? Let me get off this screen. Hold on. If we pass the Bitcoin strategic reserve, right? I think we can hit over 750,000 easy. Easy. There's going to be so many countries trying to buy it with us. I think we'll definitely do that. If it doesn't pass and something happens, then I'm going to say 250,000, but I'm 99 to 100% sure it will. So I'm predicting 750,000. So here's my point. Let me go back to this real quick. You can get 1,064 Satoshis today for $1. Okay, $1. And how you do that is you take the, let me pull my screen up. Hold on, sorry guys. 1,064 sats for $1, right? Let me zoom in on that so you can see it, because I'm trying to make a point here, guys. And how do we come up with that? You take the number 1 on your calculator, 1 divided by 94,010, and that's how you come up with 1637. So it's 168. If we go up to 750,000, guys, 1 divided by 750,000, you're only going to get 133 sats per dollar. That's it. So this is a steal, guys. Anything over 1,000 Satoshis for $1, you can't beat it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's just mind-blowing, man. And I'm making these videos because I want to go back and look at this. Again, 250,000 without an SPR, 750,000 with one. And no matter what, either way, this thing's going to the moon. And again, we're only talking about the next 52,500 blocks, right? So that's short term. We look in 4-year periods, right? And I'm going to tell you guys right now, we're looking at the greatest money invention of all time, this thing right here. And this is why I make these videos. And this is why I always say it's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys. See you next year.